Tony is our #1 quarterback. We're going to have the luxury of being able to see them both. I don't want to presume anything, but I welcome the opportunity of having Dak playing at this level and Tony back in excellent health. It's going to be really special for the Cowboys. Shannon, what should the Cowboys do when Tony Romo is back at full health?
Skip, I said it from the beginning. If Dak Prescott has only lost one game, I wouldn't go back to Tony Romo. Tony Romo in his career has missed the equivalent of 2 football seasons because of injury. Now, I know they're saying, well, they're going to expand the game plan. But when you expand the game plan with Tony Romo, you also expand the mistake.
You do.
Because he will take unnecessary risk. Dak Prescott is not going to take those risks because he knows they've instilled in him, we can't turn the football over. We can't have you put the ball in harm's way. Let's run it with Zeke, be third and manageable, and then you can either pick up the first down with your feet or you can dump it off to Beasley or one of these other guys and they can get 2 or 3 yards for the first down. We stay on rhythm. We keep what I think, and I'm sure they thinking the same thing in their meetings, that the defensive side of the football is where they're weakest at. And so if we can minimize their opportunity to play, we greatly increase our chances of winning. And when Romo played last year, and I know it's a small sample size, Skip, but he had 5 touchdowns and 7 interceptions in 4 games. You project that out over the season, you're talking about 20 touchdowns and 28 interceptions.
Yep.
That's not good. I get it. This is a very, very similar situation to what they had in New England. Now, no one knew Tom Brady was going to be Tom Brady as we see today. Drew Bledsoe was more accomplished than Tony Romo because he had taken a team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So Bill Belichick said, you know what? This guy's playing better now than the last we saw Tony Romo. I mean, Bill Belichick, he said basically Tom Brady gives us a better chance because he's playing better than Bledsoe. If I'm looking at Dak Prescott and I'm looking at Tony Romo, the last time we saw him play, Dak Prescott is outplaying Tony Romo. Now, if you want to go back and look at 2014 and says, okay, that was Tony Romo's best season.
It was.
But he's been unhealthy, and he's been more nicked than he has been healthy. He's turned the football over in the most inopportune of times. All turnovers are not created equal. When you turn the ball over and where you turn the football over at weighs heavily in how costly a turnover is. So with that being said, if Dak Prescott goes to Lambeau, beats Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, look, they know better than Skip. I don't coach the team. But having been around this situation, if I'm a player on that team, I love Tony. But if Dak Prescott goes to Green Bay and beats Green Bay, Dak Prescott should remain the starter.
On this one, my friend, we agree. I will remind you, though, Drew Bledsoe was cleared to play in Week 11 of that 2001 run.
Yep.
And at that point, the Patriots were 5-5. So Belichick had to make a really gutsy decision to say, nope, I'm sticking with the kid from Michigan who ran that awkward-looking 40 at the Combine,
Yes.
right? I'm sticking with that guy.
Yes.
And they ripped off 6 straight wins to end the regular season. And as we all know, then 3 wins in the postseason to win the Super Bowl.
But what people don't realize is that Brady got hurt in the divisional. It was Drew Bledsoe that started the championship game, and then Coach Belichick went back to...
It was huge to have him there.
Yes.
Have him ready. Now, back to what you just said. I said 3 weeks ago, sitting in this seat, if they go 5-1 going into the bye week, you have to stick with Dak. Did I think they could go 5-1? I hope so, but that was against some really long odds because of Cincinnati and then at Green Bay. Did I really think they could win both? I thought they could beat Cincinnati. At that point, I didn't think they could beat Green Bay. We'll talk about Green Bay in just a little bit here, so I'll save my thoughts on that. But in this case, if Dak manages to go 5-1, not only do you have to give him the job for a week, you have to give him the job for the rest of the year. You can't put him on a short leash. You have to hand him the reins. You just have to say, here, it's your football team. Don't look over your shoulder.
No, he has no leash.
No leash.
He has nothing. He just,
here we go,
Dak. Yes.
And I'm so with your point. Tony Romo was great 2 years ago, but I watch him with one eye closed because he's high risk, high reward. But he's high risk. He is the flip side of Dak Prescott. My blood pressure has fallen greatly on Sunday afternoon because of Dak Prescott, because he plays so carefully, yet with confidence and poise and aggression. He's still an aggressive player, mean, they convert 50% of their third downs. You can't play cautious and tentative and convert 50% of your third downs. So I love the way he's the flip side of changing the face of the whole team, because now the whole team is trusting the quarterback, when in the old days, they would trust him to throw 2 big bombs to Dez, and they would think, yeah, but he'll probably throw a couple of picks also. That's out the window, at least for now. Let's see how he does at Green Bay. And yet, Tony Romo is 36. My issue with Tony is, even if they threw him back into the fire, how long would he last?
Right.
Seriously, could he last 4 plays or 6 plays? I don't know.
And then you upset the rhythm in which you have going right now, which is a great rhythm, your own course, and he's doing. It's like a child. I always drove better when an adult wasn't in the car, because they made me nervous.
Point. Yeah.
Because now, when I'm in the car by myself, I'm free. I'm not turn here, put your blinker on. Did you see? When Tony, if Tony comes back and you're like, well, if I throw this ball here, what if it gets tipped? You don't want, because now he knows he's the guy. Tony's not playing, so he can play free. And that's what you want from your rookie quarterback. You want him to play free and not constantly look, if I do this, did I make this right read? Is he going to put Tony in the game? You don't want that. He's playing too well, Skip. I would leave him in the ball game. But Jerry and Jason says when Tony is healthy, fully healthy, he's coming back in. But maybe he's not fully healthy in week 8, week 9, week 10, week 11. So, they keep stretching it out. So we'll see.
It could do Tony wonders to have a whole year to heal, right?
Well, if he has a whole year to heal and he doesn't play, he's not coming back to Dallas next year, Skip. You know that.
We got a long way to go.
That's a fragile situation. And could you imagine taking that away from Dak right now?
Yes.
Although you predicted it.
That was the only thing I predicted about the Cowboys. I hate you so much right now.